In a busy city where everyone seemed to be racing against time, there lived a young woman named Maya. She was 26 years old and worked at a marketing firm downtown. Every morning, Maya would look at herself in the mirror and wonder why she felt so stuck. She had a decent job, a small apartment, and friends who cared about her. Yet something deep inside told her that she was living someone else's life, not her own. Maya had always been the type of person who followed the path others laid out for her. In school, she studied what her parents suggested. In college, she chose a major that seemed practical and safe. After graduation, she took the first job offer that came her way. She never really stopped to ask herself what she truly wanted. She just kept moving forward, hoping that happiness would find her eventually. But happiness felt farther away each passing day. Maya would sit at her desk, staring at spreadsheets and marketing reports, feeling like her soul was slowly fading away. Her colleagues seemed content with their routines, but Maya felt different. She felt like she was wearing a mask that didn't fit her face. One rainy Thursday evening, as Maya walked home from work, she noticed an elderly woman sitting alone on a park bench. The woman looked peaceful despite the gloomy weather. Something about her presence made Maya curious. Instead of hurrying past like she usually did, Maya approached the bench and asked if she could sit down. The elderly woman smiled warmly and nodded. They sat in comfortable silence for a few minutes, watching the raindrops create ripples in a nearby pond. Finally, the woman spoke. "You look troubled, dear." Sometimes when we carry heavy thoughts, sharing them makes the load lighter. Maya felt surprised by the woman's kindness. Strangers rarely talk to each other in this city, let alone offered comfort. She found herself opening up about her feelings of being trapped and lost. The woman listened without judgment, nodding occasionally with understanding eyes. When Maya finished speaking, the woman said something that would change her perspective forever. "My dear, every moment of every day, we make choices. Most people think choices are only the big decisions like changing jobs or moving cities. But the truth is, our smallest choices shape who we become. The choice to smile or frown, the choice to help or ignore, the choice to hope or give up. These tiny decisions create the story of our lives." Maya had never thought about life this way before. She always believed that circumstances controlled her destiny, that she was simply reacting to whatever life threw at her. The idea that she had power in every single moment felt both exciting and overwhelming. The woman continued, "I see young people like you every day walking through life as if they are passengers instead of drivers. They wait for someone else to give them permission to live fully. They wait for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or the ideal circumstances. But life doesn't work that way, doesn't it? Life responds to the choices we make right now in this very moment." As they talked, Maya learned that the woman's name was Eleanor. Eleanor had lived through many challenges in her 82 years. She had lost jobs, faced financial struggles, experienced heartbreak, and dealt with serious illness. Yet she radiated a sense of peace and contentment that Maya envied. "How do you stay so positive after going through so much?" Maya asked. Eleanor chuckled softly. "I learned something important many years ago. I cannot control what happens to me, but I can always control how I respond. Every challenge became an opportunity to choose who I wanted to be. Every setback became a chance to choose resilience over defeat. Every disappointment became a moment to choose growth over bitterness." Maya felt something stirring inside her as she listened. For the first time in years, she felt a spark of hope. Maybe she wasn't as powerless as she thought. Maybe the life she dreamed of wasn't as far away as it seemed. "But how do you know which choices to make?" Maya asked. "Sometimes I feel so confused about what's right for me." Eleanor looked at her with gentle eyes. "The answer is already inside you, dear. Most people know what they truly want, but they're afraid to admit it. They're afraid of what others might think, afraid of failing, afraid of succeeding. Fear makes us doubt our inner wisdom. But when you quiet all the noise and listen to your heart, the right choice usually becomes clear." The rain had stopped while they were talking, and the sun was beginning to peek through the clouds. Eleanor stood up slowly and gathered her things. Before leaving, she handed Maya a small piece of paper with something written on it. "Remember, Maya, every sunrise brings new choices. Don't waste them by choosing to stay the same person you were yesterday. The power to change your life isn't somewhere out there. It's right here, right now, in your next decision." Maya watched Eleanor walk away, feeling like she had just met an angel in disguise. She looked down at the piece of paper and read the words written in elegant handwriting. "The quality of your choices determines the quality of your life." That night, Maya couldn't sleep. Eleanor's words kept echoing in her mind. She realized that she had been living her life on autopilot, making the same safe choices over and over again. She had chosen comfort over growth, security over adventure, approval over authenticity. For the first time in years, Maya began to imagine what her life could look like if she started making different choices. What if she chose courage over fear? What if she chose to pursue her real dreams instead of settling for what seemed practical? The next morning, Maya woke up before her alarm clock rang. Something felt different about this day. She stood in front of her mirror, but instead of seeing a woman trapped by circumstances, she saw someone who had choices. The realization felt both terrifying and liberating. As she got ready for work, Maya began to notice all the small decisions she usually made without thinking. She chose what clothes to wear, what to eat for breakfast, which route to take to the office. But now each choice felt more intentional, more meaningful. She found herself asking a question she had never asked before. What would someone who loves their life choose in this moment? At work, Maya's usual routine felt different. When her boss asked for volunteers to work on a new creative project, Maya felt her heart race. Normally, she would stay silent and let others step forward. But Eleanor's words echoed in her mind. She raised her hand and volunteered. Her colleagues looked surprised, and Maya felt surprised too. During lunch, instead of eating at her desk while scrolling through social media, Maya chose to walk to a nearby art gallery she had passed countless times but never entered. Inside, she discovered paintings that stirred emotions she had forgotten she possessed. A particular painting of a woman standing at a crossroads caught her attention. The woman in the painting looked exactly how Maya felt, standing between two different paths, knowing that each choice would lead to a completely different life. Maya began to understand that her dissatisfaction wasn't really about her job or her apartment or her circumstances. It was about the pattern of choices she had been making. She had been choosing the path of least resistance, the option that required the smallest amount of courage, the decision that would disappoint the fewest people. That evening, Maya decided to call her best friend Sarah, someone she hadn't spoken to in months. Sarah had always been the adventurous one, the friend who took risks and followed her dreams. Maya had gradually distanced herself from Sarah, because being around her made Maya feel inadequate about her own safe choices. "Maya, I can't believe you called. I've missed you so much," Sarah said with genuine excitement. As they talked, Maya learned that Sarah had recently started her own photography business. It wasn't easy, and there were moments of uncertainty, but Sarah sounded alive in a way that Maya envied. Sarah had chosen the difficult path of pursuing her passion instead of staying in a job that paid well but made her miserable. "I remember when we used to dream about changing the world," Sarah laughed. "We had so many plans and ideas. What happened to that version of you, Maya?" The question hit Maya like a gentle slap. What had happened to that version of herself? Where was the woman who used to write poetry, who dreamed of traveling to distant countries, who wanted to make a difference in people's lives? Maya realized that she had buried that person under layers of practical decisions and safe choices. After the phone call, Maya walked to her window and looked out at the city lights. Somewhere out there, people were making bold choices. They were starting businesses, moving to new cities, learning new skills, falling in love, taking chances. Maya had been watching life happen to everyone else while choosing to remain a spectator in her own story. She pulled out a notebook and began writing. Not a to-do list or work notes, but thoughts and dreams she had been ignoring for years. She wrote about the books she always wanted to write, the languages she wanted to learn, the places she wanted to visit. She wrote about the kind of person she wanted to become and the kind of life she wanted to live. As she wrote, Maya realized that fear had been making most of her decisions. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of disappointment, fear of the unknown. But what if she started choosing based on love instead of fear? What if she chose based on what excited her rather than what felt safe? Maya understood that changing her life wouldn't happen overnight. It would require thousands of small choices, each one moving her closer to the person she wanted to become. Some choices would be easy, others would be terrifying. Some would work out perfectly. Others would lead to mistakes and lessons. But for the first time in years, Maya felt excited about her future. She felt like the author of her own story instead of a character trapped in someone else's plot. She realized that Eleanor had given her more than wisdom that day in the park. She had given her permission to choose differently. Maya looked at the piece of paper Eleanor had given her, still sitting on her bedside table. The quality of your choices determines the quality of your life. She finally understood what those words really meant. Every choice was an opportunity to vote for the kind of person she wanted to be. Tomorrow would bring new choices, and Maya was ready to make them with intention and courage. She was ready to choose the life she truly wanted, instead of the life she thought she should want. Maya's story reminds us of a powerful truth that many of us forget. We often feel trapped by our circumstances, believing that life happens to us rather than through us. But Maya discovered what Eleanor had known for years. Every single day, we hold the pen that writes our story. Every moment presents us with choices that shape who we become. The difference between living an ordinary life and an extraordinary one isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. It's the courage to make conscious choices instead of letting fear decide for us. Maya learned that she had been choosing safety over growth, comfort over adventure, approval over authenticity. But the moment she realized this, everything changed. Your life is waiting for you to choose it. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, not when you feel ready. Right now, in this very moment, you have the power to choose differently. You can choose to pursue that dream you've been postponing. You can choose to have that difficult conversation. You can choose to take that first step toward the life you truly want. Like Maya, you might discover that the person you're meant to become has been waiting patiently inside you all along. The question isn't whether you're capable of change. The question is simple: what will you choose? If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, tomorrow morning when you wake up, you'll face countless choices. Make them count.